It's me, Yamaja. Welcome to episode 8 of the Dressing Gown Diaries, where the coffee is usually hot and the truth is sacred. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. There's something sacred about this moment, isn't there? The world outside might be chaotic, isn't it just? Emails pinging, laundry whispering, passive aggressively from the corner, life being life. But in here, wrapped in this dressing gown, steam soon to rise from my coffee cup. We make space. Space for truth. Space for softness. Space for the kind of creativity that keeps a woman like me, like us, from completely losing her mind. So, I'm going to grab a cup of coffee and we'll get into it. Welcome back to the Dressing Gown Diaries. It's nice to have you here, where we keep it comfy, chaotic, and a little bit confessional. So today we're talking about the power of creativity. Let me say it plainly. I create to stay sane. And no, that's not a Pinterest quote. That's the lived truth. Just yesterday, I was in my kitchen, barefoot, dressing gown tied, more in hope than structure. Hair in a state best described as uninspired sculpture. I was meant to be cleaning, but instead I found myself elbow deep in a bowl of soap batter. Shea butter, colloidal oats, white clay, my recipe for calm. There I was, measuring, pouring, stirring slowly. Now the world didn't stop, but I did. And in that moment, amid bills, responsibility, and the weight of motherhood, I remembered who I was. A maker. A woman who alchemizes stillness from chaos. A creative, not because it's trendy, but because it's necessary. There was a time in my life, not that long ago, when I felt invisible. Motherhood was swallowing me whole. The grief of losing my mum was pressing in around the edges. And I couldn't remember the last time I did something just for the joy of it. I wasn't coping very well. I was just performing. I was performing survival. Until one night, long after the house had gone quiet, I lit a candle, pulled out an old notebook and started to write. Not for publishing, not for anyone else, just to hear my own thoughts again. And what came out? It wasn't polished. It wasn't pretty. But it was mine. And it was the beginning of healing. Those scribbled fragments became the seedlings of my first autobiographical novel, Beautiful Warrior. Proof that creativity isn't just expression, it's restoration. Here's the thing. Creativity isn't a luxury. It's not a bonus for people with extra time. It's a human need. Especially for women. Especially for those of us carrying the weight of 1,000 silent to-do lists. When I create, I step outside of the endless cycle of performing, pleasing and producing. I stop living for other people's expectations and start living from my own centre. Soap making, candle pouring, writing, scribbling lines that don't rhyme but still feel like freedom. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be true. There's something reverent about working with your hands. When I melt oils, stir in fragrance, or plop a hot soap into a silicone mould, I'm not just making a product. I'm conjuring calm. I'm sculpting breath. I'm remembering that I exist beyond the noise of role play. I exist beyond the roles that I play. Each bar I pour, each poem I write, each moment I claim for myself is an act of defiance. A refusal to drown in the noise. A reminder that I am not just a mother, or a businesswoman, or a woman trying to hold my shit together. I am an artist, a storyteller, a soul who found sanity in her own hands. So if your world is spinning, if the mental tabs in your brain won't close, if you're standing in your kitchen holding a wooden spoon like a wand and wondering what the hell happened to your joy, I invite you to create. Not for Instagram, not for a launch, not even for the kids. Create for the woman underneath. All the layers. For the one who remembers how to breathe when the pen touches the paper. When the brush meets canvas. When the batter starts to set. You don't need permission. You need 10 minutes. And maybe a cup of something hot and sweet. That's all. Just 10 minutes. So yes, my love, I create to stay sane. Not because I've got it all together, but because I don't. Because life is messy. Oh, isn't it just? And beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. And sometimes the only thing between me and a complete emotional spiral is a bar of soap and a verse that makes me exhale. So, let's see what the Dark Goddess has got to say about this, shall we? Let's give her a little shuffle. And see what she's got to say. What have we today? These cards are quite big, and my hands ain't that big. There's a bit of a struggle. It's a beautiful deck, and that's my only qualm with them. They're too big for my hands. Now, I'm not quite sure how to say this. Ireshigal. Ireshigal. The goddess of coercion. Ooh. What could that mean, eh? The goddess of coercion. Eresh Higal. Never heard of her before. Let's see what she's got to say. Eresh Higal. Here we go. Coercion, forcing to conform. Enticement in its darkest form. Never jump to each demand. Threats be gone, now take a stand. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. So, Ireshigal speaks of not giving in to emotional blackmail. My goodness, that is so relevant for me today. Confide in someone you trust. Make a list of your priorities and put yourself first. Don't give in to emotional blackmail. People have their own agendas and they want what they want. Don't give in. People can be bullies to get what they want. And I ain't having it, quite frankly. I will put myself first these days, and so should you. Be careful with whom you share your secrets, because someone might be asking way too many personal questions. Put boundaries in place. And if a power struggle incites threats, walk away. Simple. Don't take the bullshit. And that's what Erishigal, or Erishigal, I don't know. You know what I mean. That's what she has to tell us today. So, that's it for today's Dressing Gown Diaries. I've enjoyed talking to you. I've enjoyed a hot coffee. I'm your Marja, and this is Find Your Zen, UK. Let the adventure begin. Thanks for being here. It means a lot. Reclaiming your peace, one deep breath at a time with me. So, till next time, stay soft, stay strong, and if all else fails, make soap, light a candle, and lather up. And if you want to become a VIP of my newsletter for insider tips and free tarot readings by email and even free soap samples, click the link in the bio and join the VIP list. Until next time, peace.